I'm Davy, and I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Movies, where I review the styles of movies I love, the alternative, B-rated, cult-style flicks. This week, I'm going to start a trilogy of movies that I've been meaning to get to for a while. This movie was made in 1982. A fantastic year. And it was directed and produced by Amy Holden Jones, and written by Rita Mae Brown, and made by Santa Fe Productions, and distributed by New World Pictures. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the epitomes of classic, legendary cult flicks, The Slumber Party Massacre. Or, as it's called in the UK, The Slumber Party Murders. Massacre is better. The movie opens with a high school girl named Trish. She's getting ready for school as her parents are getting ready to leave for the weekend, leaving her home alone, which her mother is very concerned about, leaving her all by her lonesome.
Mom, I'm 18 years old, remember?
Sure you are. We also hear the news on the radio that a man who led a massacre years ago has escaped from prison. His name is Russ Thorne. I think that's him. And then over to high school. A high school student named Jeff is noticing a telephone worker.
Would you ever consider dating a younger man? I mean...
Even if she would, what has that got to do with you? After he strikes out with the older woman, I'm pretty sure is not, he leaves. And this is the first victim. Trish and her friends are all on the varsity basketball team, and there's a new girl there named Valerie, played by Robin Still. Trish wants to invite Valerie to her slumber party she's having this weekend, but one of the girls doesn't like her, Diane.
I'm having a few girls over tonight, and I was wondering if maybe
you could... Trish. I'm sorry.
Problem solved.
She heard.
Well, one problem solved. So now school's out, practice is done, all the girls head home, except for one of the girls, Linda, played by Brinky Stevens, who is one of the legendary B-movie actresses. They actually wanted to give her a bigger part in this movie, but she had previous commitments elsewhere, so they gave her this part so she could at least be in the movie. She goes back inside the school because she forgot something in her locker. Problem is, once she goes and gets it, she finds out she's now been locked inside the school. Yeah, putting chains on a school door at any point in time is actually illegal. But hey, since you're alone and locked in, have you met Russ? Linda runs off and hides, but there's a problem. She's bleeding. A lot. That's a lot of blood! But it's okay, the door is locked. Except for the fact that he's got a drill. Okay, so other than that, how was school, honey? While Trish is home getting ready for her slumber party, she notices that somebody must be in the house.
Oh! Trish, my God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you.
That's not the killer. He's her neighbor. What is he doing in the house?
So I got worried and I came in. I was just checking the house out.
Trish's parents asked him to keep an eye out for her during the weekend, because this was the 80s, and in the 80s there was no one more qualified to look in on your teenage daughter while she was home alone than a middle-aged single man. Then we go look in on the girls' basketball coach, Coach Jana, for another jump scare. Oh my God, it's a cat! Oh, wait, what am I doing? I'm not Sal Vulcano, I'm not afraid of cats, I just hate them. Then another jump scare! There's a lot of jump scares in this movie. Valerie is at her home, which is across the street from Trish's house, and she's watching her little sister, Courtney.
What do you think I am, stupid?
No, I just don't think you're 15. In fact, among the teenage cast, I'm pretty sure you're the oldest. Valerie hears a raccoon knock down the trash outside, so while she goes outside to clean it up, Courtney goes upstairs. Ah, the 80s, where you kept all that stuff hidden away so your parents didn't see. It was today's equivalent of clearing your browser history. When Valerie gets back...
What are you doing? I'm upstairs doing my biology homework.
My brother tried to use that excuse on my parents once. Only difference there was when he tried to use that excuse, he was 23. Well, then I guess there is no difference. The neighbor from earlier that was checking in on Trish is hunting snails in his garden. How does it feel to be haunted? Russ Thorne decides to leave the girls a little present. Rude! Sorry, Russ, but some people just don't appreciate fine art. Back to Valerie and Courtney.
Hey, Val, did you tell Mom?
Okay, fine, I believe you because of your great acting. You're 15. Back at the slumber party,
Oh my God. Wow, the lights went off.
the girls go to the garage because they feel it must have been a fuse that was blown. When they get there,
Jeff!
it was a prank.
Here are the fuses. Wow, can't you guys take a joke?
Scare the crap out of them. Now they totally want you. Not only that, but Diane's boyfriend John shows up.
I can't do it.
Then come on over to my place.
Diane goes inside to tell Trish that she will be back in a little while. Meanwhile, while she was gone, John got really excited. So excited, he lost his head! Although this raises a lot of questions. How do you cut somebody's head off with a drill? Oh, Diane. Well, that's certainly not an innuendo. Earlier, the girls ordered a pizza, and it's finally there. Bet you didn't see that coming. Neither did he! While this was going on, one of the girls, Kim, was on the phone with Coach Jana.
Kimberly, is this some kind of a joke?
So, after she hangs up, they go to call the police.
Hello? Hello? The line's dead.
Yeah, even worse, your pizza's getting cold. Because Coach Jana can't get a hold of Trish, she calls Valerie's house to ask if she might have heard anything. Valerie says they did hear screaming, but they didn't think much of it. So the coach decides that she's going to come over there herself. But Courtney wants to go over there and see what's going on. Valerie tells her no, she forbids it.
I'll tell Mom.
What's her mom going to do? Ground her so that she can't make it to vote in the next election? The two boys there, Jeff and Neil, decide that what they need to do is either get to Valerie's or Mr. Constant, the neighbor's house, and call the police. And they have the brilliant idea that they're more likely to get there if they split up and go separately.
No!
Seriously, don't you know that in slasher films, splitting up is certain death? They also get some weapons.
Here, this is a good one.
No!
Seriously, don't you know in slasher films, getting a kitchen knife is certain death? Jeff makes it as far as the garage. You shouldn't have grabbed the kitchen knife. Neil makes it to Valerie's door.
Valerie! Anybody home?
But Valerie is not answering.
Hey, Candy, come on.
She's trying to watch something. Rude. But just as Valerie decides to get up and go see who's at the door, and they have a tussle. Well, for once, a kitchen knife worked. Not for you, but it worked. Back to Courtney.
And he stuck his tongue in my mouth. I could have died. Thought I was gonna throw up or something.
Okay, I told you earlier, we get it. You're 15. Now Russ needs to hide the body. Say what you will about the 80s, but the cars had plenty of trunk space. Back at Trish's house, one of the other girls, Jackie, is getting hungry.
Well, life goes on after all.
I kind of feel like that's something I would do.
I feel better already. Really, I do.
But I do gotta ask something. Was that one little pizza really supposed to be enough for 4 girls? I mean, let's clear something up. Sorry guys, I've talked to many women and they've made it very clear. At slumber parties, they don't get in sexy underwear-type pajamas and have pillow fights. They actually get in very comfy PJs like sweatpants and flannel shirts and watch horror movies. But I will tell you one thing they all make it clear that they do all night is eat. Sorry guys, I hate to crush your fantasies, but in real life, a girl's slumber party resembles less of a porno and more of like an all-you-can-eat snack buffet. Oh, and it turns out that Jeff is alive. Not anymore, though. Courtney decided she'd had enough and she was going to go to Trish's house and see what's going on.
Damn.
Adults. What are you going to do? So Valerie goes to get her.
Trish?
No one's answering, so Valerie leaves to go around back and check. Upstairs, Jackie decides to rush down to see if she can get to her first. Well, look at it this way, Jackie. At least you got a last meal. Valerie finds her sister around back, and the both of them agree that something fishy is going on.
You stay here. I'm going around front just one more time, okay?
Ah, yes, you've been hearing screaming all night, and now no one's answering. Something feels really off here. So the best thing you can do is go snooping around by yourself. I mean, it's not like you could just go home and call the police or something. Trish and Kim go upstairs to Trish's room and lock the door tight. But while they're in there...
You think she's in with that guy? I can't believe that.
Too bad you didn't have a lock on that. When they notice Russ... Oh no! That's bad luck! Deborah DeLisso, the actress that played Kim in this movie, is now an acting teacher. Sometimes she finds out that her students went and watched this movie because she was in it. Must be awkward knowing that your students have seen your bubbies. Valerie and Courtney go looking around in the house because the door was open, but they can't find anybody, so they just figure that nobody must be there anymore. And they're about to go home, but first Courtney wants to raid the fridge.
Just one little beer.
Courtney, you're underage.
Never mind. But Courtney decides to grab a beer anyway. Courtney and Valerie run off to get away from Russ. Courtney hides under a couch. Valerie goes into the basement. But what does Russ do? Okay. Coach Jana finally arrives. And in the basement, Valerie finds a weapon. A table saw.
Duh!
Upstairs... But that didn't kill him. And for the first time in this movie, Russ speaks.
Please don't do this.
I love you.
Funny way to show it. Most guys go with like flowers and chocolate or something, but killing our friends and everybody is, I guess that's another way to go. I mean, who am I to judge? Valerie comes up from the basement with a machete. And gets revenge on that lamp. Russ runs outside. Oh, bullshit. Wow. I didn't think she had it in her. Then again, he gave her a hand. Apparently the original ending had him being stabbed and killed in the living room, but the director decided to reshoot it. Even though the actor, Michael Valea, really protested it. But for two reasons. One, he's not a very good swimmer and he had to sit there and float in that pool for a little bit. And two, well, it was a night shoot and it wasn't a heated pool. Oh, but don't worry. It wouldn't be a real slasher film if he was dead the first time. But after three girls fight him off... So there you have it, that's the cult classic, The Slumber Party Massacre. This movie did so well that it got 2 sequels and some spin-off movies for the Sorority House Massacre movies. We'll get there. This movie, though, was considered a success. It had a $220,000 budget, very low budget, and came out with $3.6 million at the box office. And it also just recently had a remake done for the Sci-Fi Channel, where they tried to focus more on it being a serious slasher film. Why? Part of its charm was that it was almost a parody of slasher films. See, the scriptwriter Rita Mae Brown actually did write the movie Sleepless Nights as a parody of slasher films. But the producers did repurpose the script to be a little bit more serious against her wishes. However, a lot of the jokes and satire were still in there. For example, the director and the casting. It's one thing I like about this. In most slasher films, they grab 20-something, early 30-year-olds to have them play teenagers, but they try to really ignore that fact. In this, they kind of played it up that, like, yeah, these are teenagers, wink, wink. Another interesting thing about this movie is the director, Amy Holden Jones, really wanted to get into directing. She was an editor. And she even turned down an editing job for E.T. to direct this movie. She wanted to direct so bad that when she got a hold of this script, her and her husband, who is a cinematographer, decided to film a couple of scenes in their living room for about $1,000 at their own expense and present it to Roger Corman, one of the legendary B-movie makers, with the scenes, and he was impressed enough to where he agreed to finance the film. Although, funny enough, for a lot of the scenes they shot inside houses, the people who owned the houses and were letting them film in there, Roger Corman insisted that they tell them the movie is called Sleepless Nights, so it would seem as a little bit more of a classy slasher film. That's an oxymoron. But still, most of them probably would have been a little put off if they had told them the title is Slumber Party Massacre. And being that it was low budget, it also had a quick filming schedule. The movie in itself took 3 weeks to film. But, in my opinion, it came out very well. Yes, they did things that were typical slasher movies, but they did them in such a satirical way that it was very entertaining. And in my opinion, this wasn't even the most entertaining of the Slumber Party Massacre films. But, like I said, we'll get there. Slumber Party Massacre is deserving of its legendary cult status. I love it personally because not only did it have the stuff that most people like about slasher films, but I like the little wink-wink poking fun at it part. So on that note, if you have not yet seen the original Slumber Party Massacre, highly recommend you go and check it out. So there you have it. That's my movie review this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit like, subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications when I post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of Slumber Party Massacre. Tell me which of the Slumber Party Massacre movies was your favorite. Love you guys.